More!
Lunch break. So the other day I was like on Facebook and I was looking at like my old profile pictures and I haven't done that in a while. Have you guys done that in a while?
No, I don't like reliving that.
Yep,
shame.
same.
It's crazy. It's like a time machine. When I stumbled across like an old photo, I realized how weird I used to be.
Let's see it.
Used to?
Ah!
Wait. Weird and awkward are very different.
Awkward. I think I was very awkward. You tell me.
Which one are you?
Compass up.
Why are you writing another human being?
It's a statue.
Wait, when is this from?
Like 8th grade.
Were you a class clown?
I tried to be.
Oh.
Trying to be.
But it's even worse.
Still tried to.
No one laughed. It's crazy looking back because I feel like I've come a long way since then. Because it's not until you look at yourself in the past that you realize how much has changed. Like growing up, it's like very gradual, right? So it's like, oh, I feel the same. But when you look at those photos, I think
And it's
like,
funny because
damn.
it wasn't that long ago. But when you're watching, it's like, dude, I was lame.
Right.
Do you feel like that was like your awkward phase?
I definitely went through an awkward phase. I
Same.
But I mean, I don't think we're embarrassed by it. Sort of, maybe. But
I am.
You really?
That's nice, Chris.
First, we need to tackle. Wait, when was your awkward stage?
My awkward stage was from
You're like,
if my
today.
if my sister defined it, I think it should go from like 5th grade to like
9.
11th grade.
Wow.
6 years?
That's a lot.
That's not an awkward phase. That is an era.
Everyone has their own journey. Sometimes I still think I'm.
Is that because that's
Awkward.
when you're like figuring out? It's a lot of character development.
Very formative. I formed the awkwardness and then I faded out. It's a very long arc.
Wait, but also, how were you awkward? Was it like you awkward? You didn't know who you were. Awkward? You didn't know how to talk to people or interact.
A lot of it comes from insecurities and like
Uh-huh.
social settings and interacting with people, strangers.
So if we were in like
Clumsiness.
5th to 11th grade era Taylor, and
I don't
what
think
would
we
you
would
do?
get along very well.
No, like what would you do? Like if you came up with
Like group projects kind of thing? Like this was a group
yeah,
project?
like, what would you do?
I wouldn't be the one that participates that much. I'd be like,
Oh. Going back, you were saying like by being awkward, was it like an active decision so that
No one
You don't
decides
choose-
to actually
You don't choose to be awkward, Chris.
or,
I mean,
or
some do, but most don't.
or maybe like, is it a way in which you felt like you probably gained a little more self-confidence because nobody cared?
I think that's how you get out of it. But like the awkward phase is you embarrassed by it. It's like you kind of like,
But this is always in hindsight.
yeah, this in hindsight, I'm like, oh,
Okay.
I'm not. But like during that period, I was very like ashamed of who I was, and that's what made me awkward. I think it fed the awkwardness, right?
I think I understand. I had that awkward phase.
What was
Dennis
yours like?
definitely
Yes.
had an awkward phase.
Whoa,
I
whoa,
didn't know
whoa! What
you.
does
What
do you
that
mean,
mean?
definitely?
What do you mean
We
definitely?
talked about it.
Wait, what was yours like?
I feel like I'm still writing it out, but I think I've come to accept it. You know,
Oh, that's
But-
that's the end of it. Yeah.
I think the definitive like awkward phase, I feel like every kid should go through, and most kids don't go through these days. But like, you know, just feeling gross and ugly, and like having braces,
Yep.
and like your hair is terrible, your fashion's terrible.
That's the
Like,
reason.
I think that's
Yep.
what defines awkward phase for me.
There's so many
You know?
things that you have to go through as a kid that makes
Right?
it worse. Braces.
Yeah, you're going through
You
puberty.
don't have a
too.
choice. Yeah. I mean, you do have a choice. It's a financial thing. But braces doesn't help. And puberty doesn't help. You're right.
Nah.
Right? It's just like everything's against you, and you're trying to like go through what you are as a person. Everything's just terrible.
It's like, yeah, why am I feeling this way? And
Yeah.
where's this hair coming from? Mustaches and stuff. Ashley.
Wait, when was your awkward phase, Jen?
I think middle school definitely, and it ended end of high school.
Is that like a girl thing? Because I feel like my awkward phase was in that window too. And this is really bad, and I hope I'm not exaggerating, but I showed them photos of what I look like middle school through like 10th grade, and they don't even recognize me. That's how bad it was.
No, that's how much you've changed and grown as an
Yeah, it
individual.
probably changed a lot. But okay, so back to the thing about being awkward. I was actually consciously trying to be awkward.
Oh.
What do you mean?
I thought
Why?
To fit in?
no,
or-
not to fit in.
To make other people uncomfortable?
Awkward is the fact that you're uncomfortable with yourself. And for me, I just thought like it helped me stand out. So like for instance, like when you're in middle school and high school, everybody wants to join cliques. I want to either fit into all the cliques, so you can be a floater, or you can choose, oh, I don't want to fit in any of these cliques. That was just a conscious decision to be a little more, I wouldn't say weird, but things that were offbeat.
I don't know if I would call it awkward so much as I used to be more quiet.
Okay, that's not awkward.
But it's one of those things where like you don't know if what you're saying has any opinion or like value or weight to it, so I'm just not gonna say anything because I don't want to sound stupid. And then in middle school, I gave up caring. So then I became really, really loud. Maybe like my junior year, I kind of calmed down a bit and I wasn't as like a big ball energy. And then I've kind of mellowed out every year.
So you were saying in middle school that you hit a point where you didn't care
It was
what
like
other
I
people
was
thought.
on a sugar high 24/7, and if I had to be friends with myself in middle school, I would not. I was so annoying. I was so loud. Like every single thought that popped in my head, I felt the need to share. There's really no need to do that.
Oh, so like you didn't give a hoot.
A hoot.
Well,
It's very mature. You guys are both really mature kids.
Yeah, because for me, because if you were talking about that, that's sort of like me. Like at a certain point, you're like, I don't really care what you guys think. A part of the conscious decision to be a little more awkward was I did feel like sometimes it didn't fit in because I was like that token Asian kid.
whoa.
There were certain stages where I was hitting a more, I guess, depressed stage. And there were times where I didn't want to go to school. You kind of like, okay, well, I kind of have to go to school. So I just like found a niche by trying to be weird. And so then people find that there's that soft side, or like, okay, this guy doesn't mind being that way. So it was because of that, eventually a lot of people started to like gravitate towards that.
No, yeah, you realize that early. I think that's good.
Yeah.
I think Jen and I didn't realize that early.
I don't think I realized that until like college.
Yeah.
Maybe like that whole perception of people seeing you as awkward. I think whenever you let that go is when you stop being awkward. I feel like in high school and middle school, you definitely like care a lot.
You have any like situations?
I don't like. One time I dropped my phone into a plate of someone I thought was cute.
This is in like, this is at school?
Oh no.
Yeah,
What was the plate
it
of?
was like during lunch.
It's like spaghetti?
Actually, maybe.
It might have
But
been
it was just
spaghetti.
like I was
It
just
had to be
holding my
messy.
phone and like I'm like it just fell in,
Wait.
And then that's
I
you
just
just
died.
say, "Can I have your number?" And you let him put it in.
That literally sliding.
So-
Exactly.
For him, if he was awkward, he'd be like, do I still eat this? One of the realizations that I was awkward was consistently during these years, people would be having conversations in a group setting, and then once I chimed in,
Everyone would walk
everyone
away.
stops talking. It didn't contribute to the conversation.
That's exactly me.
Me too.
And like there's like a beat. It was like a noticeable beat, and then a new topic emerges. So I killed the conversation.
That's exactly me.
Once it happens a lot, you're like, wow, I don't think I'm contributing here. Like, I'm awkward.
That was me too.
I still go through that sometimes too. I think it's like a trial and error. I've gotten to the point where I know how to do those things better. You have to go through that to kind of figure out strategy.
Do you ever not know how to continue conversations? Or,
Yeah.
Like, you grasp for more topics and there's just not. And then it gets like awkward silence. Oh, awkward silence.
I think there's also an era where awkward was kind of trendy.
That is the era now.
Yeah. Awkward's cool, so it's easier to embrace.
But that's
these
not
days.
fair because it didn't happen when we were awkward.
But it built character and now you guys are who you are today.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's okay to have that self-awareness, and then sometimes it's like, just go with the flow. You don't have to please everyone.
Yeah, once you start like embracing it and take confidence in that's just who you are. If you accept it, that's just a part of your character, then I think you'll start interacting with people differently, and then people will see you differently because they just see that you're comfortable with who you are. Hope you enjoyed this awkward conversation.
Just gonna leave it like that.
If you guys had an awkward phase, please tell us below in the comments. I'd like to hear and relate to you guys.
Or what you learned from your awkward phase.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, let us know what topics you want us to talk about on lunch break. We'd love to hear what you guys want to hear. Anyway, recess comes out every Tuesday and lunch breaks come out every Thursday, and we'll see you next week. Bye!
Bye.